Are you waking up each morning feeling stiff? Perhaps with a nagging ache in your joints that just wasn't there a few years ago? Do you sometimes notice a brain fog settling in? Or find that your energy seems to drain faster than it used to? Even after a good night's sleep, it's easy to dismiss these things as just getting older, a natural part of the aging process. But what if I told you that for many of us, especially after we turn 60, these uncomfortable realities aren't inevitable? What if there's a silent, invisible process happening inside your body, quietly fueled by some of the very foods you eat every single day, that's actually contributing to these aches, this fatigue, and that feeling of general malaise? That silent process is inflammation, and it's a root cause of so many of the health challenges we face as we age. In this video, we're going to pull back the curtain on 6 specific foods that are very commonly found in our kitchens and on our dinner tables. Foods that might be quietly triggering inflammation in your body right now without you even realizing it. Knowing about them and understanding why they're problematic is the first step toward feeling significantly better. And stick around to the very end, because I'll share a surprising truth that could completely change how you think about your diet and your path to lasting vitality. Let's dive right into the first food on our list, one that often brings a sense of comfort and celebration, yet can be a powerful inflammatory trigger: refined sugars. Now, I'm not just talking about the obvious culprits like candy bars or sodas. I'm talking about the sugars hiding everywhere. In your breakfast cereal, that seemingly healthy granola bar, even in your bread, sauces, and salad dressings. For years, we were told fat was the enemy, but mounting research points a strong finger at sugar as a primary driver of inflammation. When you consume refined sugar, especially in large amounts, your blood sugar levels spike rapidly. Your body then releases a surge of insulin to bring those levels down. Over time, this constant roller coaster can lead to insulin resistance, which itself is a pro-inflammatory state. But it's not just about blood sugar. Sugar also directly damages proteins in your body through a process called glycation, forming something called advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. These AGEs are major culprits in accelerating aging and inflammation, contributing to everything from stiff joints to wrinkles. Think about it: a lifetime of daily sugary drinks, sugary treats, or even just adding spoonfuls of sugar to your coffee or tea can really add up. Imagine your body's cells as a calm pond. When you throw in a handful of refined sugar, it's like dropping a stone, creating ripples that disturb the peace. Over time, constant stone dropping keeps those ripples churning, never allowing the pond to settle. That's what chronic low-grade inflammation feels like inside your body. The good news is, you don't have to give up sweetness entirely. The key is to be mindful. Start by reading food labels carefully. Sugar goes by many names like high fructose corn syrup, dextrose, maltose, and sucrose. Gradually reduce how much added sugar you consume. Opt for natural sweetness from whole fruits, which come packaged with fiber that helps moderate blood sugar response, instead of that sugary dessert. Try a bowl of berries with a dollop of plain Greek yogurt, or even a square of dark chocolate. Small swaps make a huge difference in calming that internal inflammation. Some moving seamlessly from sugar. Let's talk about its close relative and another major inflammatory culprit: refined grains. Think white bread, white pasta, white rice, many breakfast cereals, and countless processed snacks. Unlike whole grains, which retain their bran and germ, the parts packed with fiber, vitamins, and minerals, refined grains have been stripped of these vital components. What's left is essentially starch that the body rapidly converts into sugar, leading to the same kind of blood sugar spikes and subsequent insulin surges we just discussed with refined sugars. This rapid conversion to sugar then fuels inflammation. Furthermore, many refined grain products are heavily processed and often contain additives, preservatives, and unhealthy fats that further contribute to inflammation. Imagine trying to build a sturdy house with flimsy, hollow bricks instead of solid ones. That's a bit like what happens when your body tries to use refined grains as fuel. They offer quick energy, yes, but very little in the way of sustained nourishment or anti-inflammatory support. They lack the fiber that acts like a scrub brush for your digestive system, helping to move things along and support a healthy gut microbiome, which is incredibly important for controlling systemic inflammation. A less than optimal gut environment can send inflammatory signals throughout your body, contributing to issues far beyond just digestion. So, what's the actionable step here? It's surprisingly simple. Swap out refined grains for their whole grain counterparts. Instead of white bread, choose 100% whole wheat or whole grain bread. Opt for brown rice or quinoa instead of white rice. Explore whole wheat pasta or alternatives like lentil or chickpea pasta. Oatmeal, steel-cut oats, and barley are fantastic whole grain choices that can provide sustained energy and a wealth of fiber. Making this switch isn't just about avoiding a negative. It's about actively introducing beneficial compounds that support gut health and reduce inflammation. Think of it as choosing building blocks that strengthen your body rather than weakening it. It might take a little getting used to the different textures or flavors, but your body will thank you. Now that we've discussed the sugar and refined grain connection to inflammation, let's talk about something many of us enjoy for breakfast, lunch, and dinner: processed meats. We're talking about bacon, sausages, hot dogs, deli meats, and many prepackaged meals. While delicious, these foods are often loaded with sodium, saturated fats, and harmful additives like nitrates and nitrites, which are used for preservation and color. When consumed regularly, these components can wreak havoc on your body, contributing significantly to systemic inflammation. The saturated fats, especially in excess, can increase levels of LDL cholesterol, often called bad cholesterol, and contribute to inflammation in the arteries, laying the groundwork for heart disease. But it's the nitrates and nitrites that are particularly concerning. When heated, especially at high temperatures like frying bacon, these compounds can form N-nitroso compounds, which are known carcinogens and powerful inflammatory agents. They don't just inflame your gut, they can trigger widespread inflammatory responses throughout your body. Think about that sizzling bacon you enjoy in the morning, or the convenient deli sandwich you grab for lunch. While a treat now and then might not be an issue, making these a daily staple can continuously stoke the fires of inflammation. Instead of reaching for these processed options, try to focus on lean, unprocessed protein sources. Eggs are a fantastic, versatile, and nutrient-dense option. Look for fresh, lean cuts of chicken, turkey, or fish. Incorporate more plant-based proteins like beans, lentils, and tofu. When you do choose meats, opt for those that are minimally processed, preferably organic or pasture-raised, and cook them gently to avoid charring. It's about being deliberate with your choices, understanding that convenience often comes with a hidden cost to your long-term health. Next up on our list of inflammatory foods are certain vegetable oils. Now, before you panic, let me clarify, not all vegetable oils are created equal. We're specifically talking about oils high in omega-6 fatty acids, such as soybean oil, corn oil, sunflower oil, safflower oil, and even canola oil, which are pervasive in processed foods, snack foods, and often used for frying in restaurants. While omega-6 fatty acids are essential for our bodies, the problem arises when our diet has an imbalanced ratio of omega-6 to omega-3 fatty acids. Our ancestral diet likely had a ratio of roughly 1:1, or perhaps up to 4:1. The modern Western diet, however, often sees ratios as high as 10:1, or even 20:1, heavily skewed towards omega-6. This excessive intake of omega-6, particularly from highly processed sources, can promote inflammation within the body. These oils are often refined, bleached, and deodorized, processes that can create harmful trans fats and other inflammatory compounds. They are also easily oxidized, especially when exposed to heat and light, leading to the formation of free radicals that damage cells and contribute to inflammation. Think about a seesaw that's heavily tipped to one side. When your omega-6 to omega-3 ratio is way out of balance, your body is predisposed to inflammation. Your goal is to try and bring that seesaw back towards balance. So, what's the practical advice here? First, be mindful of processed and fried foods, as these oils are almost always used in their preparation. Second, replace these high omega-6 oils in your own cooking with healthier alternatives, Reach for extra virgin olive oil for dressings and lower heat cooking, avocado oil for higher heat cooking due to its high smoke point, or even coconut oil in moderation. Butter from grass-fed cows can also be a good option for flavor and healthy fats. It's about choosing fats that support your body's anti-inflammatory processes rather than fueling inflammatory ones. This simple switch in your cooking oils can significantly impact your overall inflammatory load. Once again, we Adam damit. Continuing our journey through foods that can quietly cause inflammation, let's talk about dairy products. Now, this one can be a bit controversial because for many people, dairy is a perfectly healthy part of their diet, but for a significant portion of the population, especially as we age, dairy can indeed be an inflammatory trigger. There are two main reasons for this. First, lactose intolerance. As we get older, our bodies naturally produce less lactase, the enzyme needed to break down lactose, the sugar found in milk. When lactose isn't properly digested, it can cause digestive upset like bloating, gas, and discomfort. This can lead to intestinal inflammation, which then contributes to systemic inflammation throughout the body. Think of it like an upset stomach sending distress signals that reverberate far beyond your gut. Second, some individuals are sensitive to the proteins in dairy, primarily casein and whey. For them, consuming dairy can trigger an immune response, leading to inflammation that manifests in various ways, from skin issues like acne and eczema to joint pain, respiratory problems, and even brain fog. You might be consuming dairy products every day, milk in your coffee, cheese on your sandwich, yogurt for breakfast, and not realize that these seemingly innocent foods are contributing to your underlying aches or fatigue. How do you know if dairy is an issue for you? The best way is to try an elimination experiment. For a few weeks, completely remove all dairy products from your diet, including milk, cheese, yogurt, and butter. Pay close attention to how you feel. Do your joints feel less stiff? Is your digestion smoother? Does your skin clear up? Then, slowly reintroduce dairy and observe any changes. If you notice a return of symptoms, it's a good indication that dairy might be an inflammatory trigger for your unique body. If dairy is problematic, there are many excellent alternatives available today: almond milk, oat milk, soy milk, coconut milk, and various plant-based yogurts and cheeses. Focusing on fermented dairy like kefir or certain yogurts might be better tolerated by some, as the fermentation process breaks down some of the lactose. The key is to listen to your body. It often sends signals if something isn't agreeing with it. Finally, the sixth food that can quietly cause inflammation after 60 is alcohol. While a glass of red wine is often touted for its antioxidants, excessive or even moderate regular alcohol consumption can be a significant inflammatory agent, especially as our bodies become less efficient at processing it with age. Alcohol puts a considerable burden on your liver, which is your body's primary detoxification organ. When the liver is constantly working overtime to process alcohol, it has less capacity for other crucial functions, and this can lead to liver inflammation. Beyond the liver, alcohol can directly irritate the lining of your stomach and intestines, leading to what's known as leaky gut. This means undigested food particles and toxins can escape the gut and enter the bloodstream, triggering a widespread immune response and systemic inflammation. Think of alcohol as a silent disruptor. It depletes your body of essential vitamins and minerals, particularly B vitamins, which are crucial for energy production and nerve function. It disrupts sleep patterns, even if it feels like it helps you fall asleep, leading to fragmented, less restorative sleep, which itself contributes to inflammation. Furthermore, alcohol contains empty calories that can contribute to weight gain, and excess body fat is a known driver of inflammation. While occasional, moderate consumption might not be an issue for everyone. If you find yourself having a drink or two every night, or more on weekends, it's worth considering its impact. The actionable step here isn't necessarily to become teetotal, but to practice mindful moderation. If you enjoy a drink, try limiting yourself to 1 per day for women and perhaps 2 for men. Or, even better, designate a few alcohol-free days each week. Focus on quality over quantity. And remember, prioritize water. Hydration is vital for flushing toxins and keeping inflammation at bay. Replacing an alcoholic drink with a sparkling water with lime or a calming herbal tea can make a surprising difference in how your body feels. It's about finding balance and giving your body the best chance to thrive without constantly battling an internal inflammatory storm. So, we've walked through 6 common culprits that might be silently stoking the fires of inflammation within your body, those sneaky refined sugars hiding in so many everyday foods. The stripped-down, energy-spiking refined grains, the processed meats packed with problematic additives, the imbalance caused by certain vegetable oils, the surprising impact of dairy for many individuals, and the often overlooked effects of regular alcohol consumption. Now, I know this might feel like a lot to take in, or even a bit overwhelming, especially if many of these foods are staples in your current diet. But please, don't feel discouraged. The beauty of this knowledge is that it empowers you. You're not just getting old and resigned to aches, pains, and brain fog. You have tangible, actionable steps you can take to reclaim your vitality and truly feel better. Small, consistent changes are far more sustainable and effective than drastic overhauls. Start with 1 or 2 of these suggestions. Perhaps this week, you'll commit to reading food labels more closely to spot hidden sugars. Or you'll swap out your white bread for a whole grain option. Maybe you'll try a week without dairy to see how your body responds. Or consciously choose healthier cooking oils. Remember earlier I mentioned a surprising truth that could change how you think about your diet? Well, here it is. Many of these inflammatory foods are so deeply ingrained in our modern diet, not primarily because they're inherently delicious or truly nourishing, but because they are incredibly profitable for food manufacturers. They are often engineered with specific combinations of sugar, salt, and fat to be hyper-palatable, to make us crave more, to keep us in a cycle that benefits their bottom line, often at the expense of our health. Understanding this can be a powerful motivator to break free from these cycles and reclaim your health autonomy. It's not about willpower as much as it is about awareness and making informed choices that serve your well-being, not someone else's profit margin. Your body is incredibly resilient and capable of healing when given the right tools and fewer inflammatory burdens. Every conscious choice you make to reduce inflammation is a step toward greater energy, less pain, clearer thinking, and a more vibrant life. What's one food you're ready to look at differently or swap out after watching this video? Share your thoughts, your experiences, or even your favorite anti-inflammatory recipe in the comments below. Your insights could be incredibly helpful to others in our community. If you found this information helpful, please give this video a big thumbs up. It truly helps our channel reach more people who can benefit from this knowledge. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our future videos, where we'll continue to explore practical ways to live vibrantly at every age. Your journey to feeling better, to moving with less pain, to thinking with more clarity. It starts with these small, conscious choices. Remember, every day is a new opportunity to nourish your body and live your best life. You absolutely have the power to take control of your well-being. Live your best life at every age.